Welcome. Let's solve Leetcode 3223, minimum length of string after operations. Okay, let's make this bigger so we can read it. Okay, good. So you're given a string S. You can perform the following process on S any number of times. Choose an index I in the string such that there is at least one character to the left of index I that is equal to S of I, and at least one character to the right that is also equal to S of I. Delete the closest character to the left of index I that is equal to S of I. Delete the closest character to the right of index I that is equal to S of I. Return the minimum length of the final string S that you can achieve. So basically, the wording is meant to be confusing in my opinion. So basically, you need at least 3 characters and then you can delete 2 of them, and you're left with 1. Yeah, exactly. So again, you need at least 3 characters and then you can delete 2 of them, and you're left with 1 character. Okay, let's go over this example here. So here we have 3 A's. We can delete 2 of them, and so we're left with 1 A. And here we have 2 C's, so there's not, we can't delete one on the left, one on the right, so they just remain. So we have 3 B's here, so here's 1, 2, 3 B's, so we can delete 2 of them, and then we're left with this B that was not included in the original operation. So after that, we'd have a total of 5 characters left. Now again, it doesn't matter how the string is situated, because that's not what they're asking. They're asking us to return the minimum length of the final string, not the actual string. Okay, so like in this case, example 2, we can't remove. We don't have a sufficient number of characters to perform the, what do they call this, operation, or the following process. Okay, so, or process or operation, I don't know what they're going with. Okay, okay, so let's get started. What I'll do today is I'll present a Python version and then a C++ version, secondly, and they'll be slightly different because some methods in Python are not allowed in C++, and so, but the overall concept will be exactly the same. Okay, so let's get started. Maybe we can move this and make this bigger so we can focus. Okay, so the idea is what if we have something like this, A. So we can delete 2 of them, so we're left with a single A. Now what if we have 5 A's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what happens? So, well, we know when we have 3 of them, it reduces to 1. And then, sorry. So let's, yes, sir. So we know when we have 3 A's, it reduces to 1. And then, but we have 3 more A's, it also reduces to a single A. Let me show that slower. So this would become A. And then, but then this would become A, because we've shown it from up here. Kind of like induction. So my point to you is, whenever we have an odd number of characters, if we apply the, what's the word, the given operation, we can reduce this to a single character, or basically just 1. So anytime we have an odd frequency of any character, we know that's going to be 1. We can reduce it to 1. Now let's look at the other case. What if we have let's say we have two B's. Well, two B's we can't do anything because we need at least one character to the left, one character to the right. So let's suppose we have four B's. So let's say we have four B's. So let's do this. So we didn't get anything when we had two B's. We weren't allowed to remove any characters. But if we have four B's, what happens? Well, we know when we have three of these B's, we can reduce it to one, so we get BB. But then we can't do anything else. We're stuck again. So my point to you is, whenever we have an even number of characters, if we apply the given operation, we can reduce this to two characters. And that's the best we can do. So remember, they ask us to, what does it say? Return the minimum length. So the smallest we can do is we can reduce it to 2. And that's basically the entire approach for this problem. Okay, so let's try implementing this in Python. So let's maybe make this smaller. Okay, so let's do that. So what I'm going to say is let's get the set of S. So I'm going to say the set of S. So this will just give me all the characters. So for example, I don't know, like, well, suppose S is something like A, B, C, 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 B, A. I don't know. So this would essentially become just, you know, A, B, C. And then we're going to perform a count. We want to count on these. Let's make this bigger. So let's get a count of this. So say for maybe letter in S, and let's get a count. So we'll say S dot count of L. So this will give us the count of it. Now we want to know if this count of this letter is odd or even. So we use one of my preferred methods or approaches for determining if a number is odd or even. I like using this and one, and this will tell you if it's odd. So if this is true, so if this is odd, what do we want to do? Well, we want to remember when it's odd, we know we can reduce it to 1. So we know we would have at least one character in our string left. Otherwise, it'll be 2. Okay. What the hell happened there? Sorry, I don't know what happened there. In any case, where are we? So return sum of all these letters. And let's check it. Let's see if that's right. Looks good. Let's check it locally. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's maybe make it smaller. And let's submit it. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, looks pretty good. So we'll take it. So if you're let me just delete this now. So again, now I will demonstrate the C++ version. So if you want to learn another language, in which I recommend that most developers know, at least for sure they know one language, but it's more helpful if you know 2 or more languages. Okay, so let's jump to C++ implementation. All right, cool. All right, here we go. So again, the same approach remains the same. So let's initialize our result. So result equals 0. So now we'll have to manually count the characters. So we'll use an unordered map, and we'll have it from char to int, and we'll just call it frequencies. Okay, so let's loop through this string and then let's count the characters. So we'll say for int I equals 0, I less than s dot length, and I plus plus. You can say freak of the character at I plus plus. Okay. Now that we have the frequencies, we can again, we'll loop through the frequencies to count the values and determine if they're odd or even, and see how that affects our answer. So we use this. I think they call this structured binding, or basically it allows you to unpack something like a pair or tuple. I think it was implemented in C++17, so it'll go something like this: for auto. I'm going to use an underscore here, but it would basically be the key and the value, maybe not. And we'll basically, this will be basically a pair for looping through the frequency. Okay, and we only really care about the value, we don't care about the key. So we'll do the same thing as before, but we'll use a ternary operator. So we'll say result plus equals. Now if value is odd, remember if it's odd, then we can reduce it to one character. Otherwise, we'll have two characters remaining. And that's it. We'll just return the result. Okay, let's check it. Okay, looks good. Let's submit it. Okay, looks pretty good. I noticed some of the other solutions, they used a vector, and because they essentially stored this as an int, where they just used the ordinal value, and that's perfectly fine, but I think this is sufficient, so I'm okay with this. Okay, if you found this video helpful or educational or beneficial in any way, please consider liking or subscribing. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Cheers.